welcome back. I'm here. I'm here, and I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. Nuclear, what's up? How's it going? Good to see you. Back from Vegas. We had an awesome time out in Vegas. And yeah, want to do show just sort of recapping everything, chatting with whoever. Let me real quick before I forget. Yeah. So yeah, Vegas was a huge success in a lot of ways. I was super like humbled. I'm always humbled by these events because it brings so many people together that there's just names in chat, and then or they're memers or whatever, and then seeing them in real life, it just solidifies the whole idea that this is, people are. This sounds so dumb. People are real, and everyone's here to grow and be better people, and just find their place in everything. So it's truly humbling to be a part of it all. And when people ask for pictures or they say, "Hey man, I made you this whole book of memes and I made you this shirt," I just think, I'm not, what? I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that. Let me real quick. I'm just kind of doing. It looks like Flawed's going to join here for a bit. Old man Flawed got to go to bed, but yeah, we're live also on Rumble. We're live on YouTube right now, just chatting. But yeah, so Vegas was great. I got there on Wednesday, and like immediately got together with Sheep City and Horror Amarada, and so it was just a good time. We I believe we got some dinner to start off, and then the meetup. Oh, we walked the strip for a little bit. That's right. We walked the strip for a little bit. Then we got an Uber down to the Millennium Fandom Bar, which is super cool. I'd go back there in a second, and then we just hung out with the gang. So getting to meet people who, again, they're just their faces on YouTube, their names in chat. It's always a humbling experience in that respect. Got to meet Flawed, got to meet Mo, got to meet Darth Call, George the Giant Slayer, some of the memers. So we got Devil Made Me Do It. Got to meet him. He was wearing our shirt, which was super cool to see. It's cool to see that stuff in real life. And yeah, no, and I think hanging out with them was I don't know, it was just cool. In Sheep City, and bless his heart, he won the Xbox Series X in the raffle that they do, which was funny because I was standing there in the middle of the bar, and I'm holding, or I hear, oh, they're doing the raffle in the other room. I'm like, okay, I gotta go in there. And Fear the Beardo, shouts out to Fear the Beardo. He's doing the raffle. But I'm in the room where everyone's like meeting everyone. Like, there's a big line for Gary. There's Quarter Black. There's X-Ray Girl. Everyone's there. And also, I'm hearing numbers being called out. I'm like, what? They're doing the raffle. Oh, and then then I hear, oh, they're doing the raffle. And I thought they were just in the back corner of that room, because I hear the number. So my number was like 509072 was my number, and then I hear 509071, and I'm like, oh, what? I'm thinking, who is that? Is that Almirada? Is it Sheep City? And I don't know. So I finally get into the bar, and I see this is where everything's happening. And he's walking up, the the biggest smile on his face, holding the Xbox Series X. I'm like, you motherfucker. So Ashley Hayden, what's going on? Flawed just posted and tell you to come over here. Cool. Thanks. Mephisto's over on Rumble. He says, "Evening, Shags. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Stream Elements bot's running, and Andy's here. Pogshag, what's up, dude? Always a pleasure to see you, man. Yeah, looks like Flood's gonna stop by for a little bit, chat with me. Flood was I had to meet Flood. Flood was a cool dude, man. It's just so cool how like it's just cool how people are. Like everyone's pretty much the same in real life. Society reviews. What's up, dude? I'm running bots. What's up, man? What's going on? It's just funny how people like are pretty much the same way in real life. Oh, here's the man now. Here he is, pulling him back. Yo,
Hey, what's good?
always on black time.
I was on black time. Yeah, my bad. That's exactly what I was doing.
That was a good base staff today. Really good show.
It was fun. It was fun. I had pent up base staffness because I didn't get to be there last week.
So, man, I'm doing good. I just talking about Vegas a little bit.
I was watching. I heard.
Man, it was such a trip, dude. I was singing your praises, man. Like you're just a cool dude in real life. You're a cool dude on here. So
you're a cool guy. I knew you were cool before that. If Adam was cool with you, then I figured you're a cool guy. But seeing you in real life solidified it.
Yeah, reality.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, dope. I think most people that I've come across in the fandom space and outside of that have been pretty on the up and up. There's been a few that have been like, meh. Yeah. But for the most part, everyone's just. I think it's because we're all just trying to find our place in the world.
I agree.
And when 2020 like kind of fucked all that up for a lot of people, like we started, like you would post that video from Gothics. Yeah. And you're like, this was it. This was a literally defining
watching
moment.
That video is what made me be like, I'm looking at life totally differently. Like it made me look at life totally differently. Before that, I was on my way to like opening up to the more conservative mindset, which I feel like I already had, but like accepting it. Yep. Instead of like projecting all this wanting to like look good in everyone else's eyes type of energy. Right. But that video was like, it opened my eyes because my whole life, everything, my mother made everything like racial because we're from New Hampshire and it's all white people. It's all easy to just blame it on race. And it really put me on a bad path in life. And like changing my mindset is the reason I'm where I'm at right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It was damn near immediate.
Yep. It's I'll tell you, man, it's hard being like the white guy who's like trying to be like all traditional and stuff because everyone's like, oh, typical,
You're
like,
a racist. Definitely straight white male in America.
What's funny is like so I knew Gothics before her whole like transformation. Mm-hmm. So I used to watch her on Twitch, and then when she disappeared and then kind of reappeared, like at first I was like, oh, where did you go?
I didn't know of her before anything. Like before that video, I didn't even know. I know she said she was on Twitch and like got ran off Twitch because people hate anything that's not super woke. Yeah, but like she bounced back clearly.
Yeah, she did, and I was like, so I saw her as she like reemerged again. She was doing her podcast with her husband, then boyfriend, and their good friend. And
oh yeah, you know him in real life. I forgot you actually know her. Yeah,
yeah, I do. Yeah, we've hung out a few times. And so that was like, so once I saw her, then I started seeing like people like, I started searching out other like conservative, like, for lack of better, black people.
Black people? Yeah, no, it was wild how it happened because I thought there was none. I saw Gothics and then my mind started changing. And then it was like, all of a sudden it looked like dominoes going down. And it was like just more and more black people were just like, nah, I'm done with this narrative.
Yeah. It just became almost like a weird fetish to like search out these people. Because I'm like, I need to know because I've been told my whole life there's no such thing as a conservative black person.
Me too, man. I didn't know any.
Yeah.
From like TV maybe, but like in real life, I didn't know one. But I know black people who have more conservative mindsets, but it's like covered in all of this just fake, just like shit that gets put in your head while you're a kid in black. Yeah, it's like most black people do not. They align more with a Trump than a Biden in reality.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. When we were talking in Vegas on our shows, like I meant like the Trump just melted everyone's brains to the point where it's like, because when the whole thing came out, like, oh, he said this, like, grab him by the pussy or whatever, like that. That was the thing. I was like, oh, like, I see why people don't like that, and it makes sense to not like those words.
Yep.
But I'm like, dude was like, sitting there with another guy, like, in confidence. Like, how many times have you been talking to your bros and like said some stupid shit?
I'd be done. I'd be done for it, because I say craziness to Mo, like sexual weird shit, that if someone heard it, they'd be like, wow, what's going on in that house?
Yeah.
There's something going on in that house. But it's just like, you say things.
Yep.
I say the craziest thing I can think of, and Trump is the same type of thing. This dude's wild.
Real quick, I just want to say hi to the chat. I said hi to a few over here. Ashley Hayden, welcome.
Ashley.
Society Reviews is in the house. Good to see you, man. If you're not subscribed to Society Reviews, check him out. He's dope. Metastep, what's going on, brother?
Meta.
Bobby Beatty, what's going on?
Bobby Beatty, I think his name is.
Beatty, I can't.
It might be Beatty. I don't know. Today I found out I was stupid on base staff, so I don't know if I can read.
I don't know, man. That test, I was sitting there like, oh my god,
I didn't get any. I
wanted to mention
how to get to the place, but didn't get one right.
Yeah, those are tough questions.
Yeah.
Grow the farm up. New sub, first live. Like the smaller channels. Always looking for good 5K sub or less channels. It's cool to watch them blow up. Will this one? Am I in the right spot?
Yeah. Nah, you will.
We'll see.
Guaranteed. I guarantee it. I can see, like, as long as you continue to do it and don't give up, you have the energy for it. I guarantee it.
I'm trying.
It'll hit. And this is the thing about the internet. You could go like 5 years and have 100 views every video, and then one thing just like shoots you to huge. So like giving up is the dumbest thing, because the only way to get there is to make the content.
Right. Oh, for sure. Real life perspective. Hey, yo, what did you guys do for Masters of the Universe Day? It was April 28th. Make sure to mark your calendars for next year. Guilty as charged. I did not do anything for Masters of the Universe Day.
I don't even know what that is.
Like the cartoon Masters of the Universe?
I don't even know what that is. Let me look this up.
Sleazy says, what up, Flawed? What's going on? And Mephisto over on Rumble says, what up, Flawed, as well.
What's good?
And then we got Jay Forte with the 5 spot. Thank you, sir. Says, Walter E. Williams was one of my first red pills when I took his online course during my short stint in college. Seriously, like, there was the 2020 was so good because of how, like, everyone just had time.
Yeah,
it was like, okay, you're not working. Yeah, you can't go anywhere.
Time to think.
Yep. And actually, really, it kind of happened before that. It was like the road to the election. In 2019 was like, it was already scrambling people's brains, and like the more I saw like false headlines come out, and I started seeing how different they were.
That's what made me vote for Trump.
Yeah,
that was the thing. It was like so clear that it was just biased reporting.
Yeah,
it's like they hate this guy. The people that I hate this guy. So this is who I'm gonna get behind.
Yeah, and like, it's just fucked up, because there's a lot of stuff that worked out pretty well that he was implementing. No one's perfect. Yeah. And I don't know, but the difference of like people like hating presidents before and now, just like everything just snapped, because no one liked Bush, and there's a lot of bad things about Obama too. But
but it wasn't like to this level. To the level with Trump, it was like, if you support this guy, you are the worst people in America, and we can say and do anything to you without people feeling any type of remorse for it, or like,
and still
feeling bad. Yeah, still to this day. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd ever be at this point. I remember 2012, 2013, like Obama was bad, and I was like, people were talking about how he was inflaming race, and I was like liberal at the time, so I'm like, there'll never be racial tensions in this country again. We're in 2012. Are you crazy?
Right.
We're not that stupid.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn. I feel like this was a psyop.
And who knew, 8 years later there was going to be, black only graduations and shit like that. Like,
segregation coming
back.
Yeah,
dude.
Like, what are we doing, man?
Oh, it's wild.
You would think that you would, no matter what, it's like you would think that would be off limits. Like, okay, we've been there. Let's not bring, like that's obviously not the answer.
Right.
But no, it's like this right now, people think they're the smartest and don't have to listen to history. History is stupid. The future is like to be created with no type of basis in reality. It's crazy.
Dude, it's wild. Like I don't even know. Like I don't even know why. You know, like when I sit and I see that stuff, I just think you can't. You have to understand you're on the wrong side of history here. Like,
because I think they don't. I think they really don't. I think they really think that they're right.
I mean, I'm all for. You know, you guys said it 1,000 times today. It's like I'm all for respecting people. You want to call yourself that? Sure. I might not call you that. I know who you are. You know, but like it doesn't mean I'm going to disrespect you. And I just find that that's most of conservatives' positions on stuff. It was like, just leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. You know,
the non-tribal ones. You know, like the open-minded people. I feel like that's on both sides. There's that like. If you are a liberal, you might not be crazy. You might believe stupid shit, like childish shit, because liberals are dumb. But you're still kind of basis in reality.
Yeah.
But also on the conservative side, it's like there's a group of people who are not tribal and they aren't like they're not blindly following things. But then on both sides, there's that too. And it's like in the middle on both sides, I think there's people who were like that lived like it was 2010, and it was like you could believe whatever you want, do whatever you want. I'm not gonna it's not gonna change my life. What you eat don't make me shit.
Right? Yeah,
it's crazy.
I don't know, but like you know the meetups, and I went to Orlando and now Vegas, and those were they just helped me get through it. You know, finding Gothics and then the people all the way up. Was really a godsend because I was going nuts, just crawling out of my skin, you know, and you know, just to hang out with you guys and then realize like, oh, there's nothing to worry about, like, you know, like they're just normal
I had
people.
So much anxiety, bro. On the like when Garrett asked me to go, I was like, that's why I was like, Mo, I'm not going by myself. You got to come with me because I'm not good around people, and it was just like. It was wild, but I felt more comfortable than I thought I would. Like way more comfortable than I thought I would.
Well, yeah, I couldn't tell.
You chilling with certain people.
Yeah, you know? I mean, I couldn't tell. I mean, you guys,
you had good vibes.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could be. I mean,
there was like plenty of times where conversations. Because I just keep talking, so just like say some shit and trying to find a bit to like attach to because my brain just thinks entertainment.
Yeah,
so I just will say things, and sometimes I don't find it, and then it's just like. Conversation goes to a weird place, and it's like that was a cool first impression I just made. That was awesome. That was great. I just we'll just continue this way.
Well, it's cool. Like even like meeting George, like he's the same way on the show as he is in real life. It's just George, you know. Darth Call,
that's actually correct. You're right. Everyone I met, like that I really talked to, was exactly what they are online.
Yeah. Well, and that's good because I don't try to be anything other than myself. Honestly, I don't have the energy
it's too hard.
To
too much
make
work.
A character. Can't do it.
Too much work. Way too much work. Then you got to keep up with bullshit, and it's like people. It's also like harder to deal with when people criticize you because you're just being yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But it will make you stronger. Like that's what the world is. The world is like just attacking you. So you have to like, and not everyone, but like that's what the world is real. So you can't just be like, oh, you make me sad, so I'm not going to talk to you. It's like you got to put yourself in those situations. Got to put yourself out there. It'll make you, if you address it, it'll make it like easier to deal with the next time, man.
Right. Well, especially for me, like I challenge myself constantly. I mean, I worked in the service industry for years, so like you're constantly on stage and like having to like, I just try and be myself, but also give these people a good experience, But I had to, I mean, for the longest time, I hated public speaking. Hated it. Couldn't do it.
I don't know how I made music because I wouldn't even turn in book reports because I used to have to explain why I wrote what I wrote in school. I was so afraid of it. I would miss whole projects because of it.
Yeah. And that's like for me, it took a long time to sort of, Call's here. Call, you want to
call? Come through, bro.
Come through, bro. Let me shoot you.
Call was like a good anchor for me too. Like someone that I knew. As soon as I got on base step, I was like, I get along with this guy. So him being there also made me be like, okay, so I'm not the only one who's sitting here like bugging. Like I don't know anyone. Even people that know me, I'm like, damn, I really like you have a look, so I knew you. But a lot of other people, they have like no default picture. I'm like, I don't even. You got to tell me your name. I feel like weird because I feel like you think that I think that you're nobody, but like. I remember a lot of usernames, bro. I remember almost everybody. I'm on here every day, you know. So it was like it was just a weird experience. But it was dope.
Yeah. No, it's funny. It's funny. I mean, I'm sure you saw it.
When I say you have a look, I mean you're handsome. Is what I was trying to get at there. That was the point I was trying to make. But anyway, go ahead. My bad. Interrupt the sentence.
Darth calls it. I'm chilling in my undies, boys. But thank you. I'm enjoying.
That's what I want to see. Come on, bro.
Well, you got the link. If you change your mind, you want to put on your night coat there, or whatever. What is it?
Put on your whole Darth Maul outfit. Don't just from underwear to get painted and show up.
Let me see. Grow the farm up says that's my kind of chill. You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. We'll interact cordially if necessary. You do you. I got enough going on. I don't need someone else's. Yeah, dude. I tell those people all the time. Like, just like if you mind your own business for the most part, you'll realize like most of the stuff that's going on the internet just doesn't really affect you.
Matter. Yeah.
But it's good to know. Like that's why like we do what we do is because we're just trying to bring exposure to things that like you should just watch out for and realize like this stuff is happening other places and it's not just
Yep. And it's like honestly, this space, because it's like a mixture of things that I grew up in, was meant like gaming and like cartoons and shows and movies and all types of things, and then also it mixes in like this shit is happening as well in the world. So it's like it helps me deal with the fact that this world is as crazy as it is, because it's other people who are the same type of person, just like not freaking out. As long as people aren't like houses aren't burning down when they turn on the camera, I feel like I'm in it with someone else, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to say safe space because that's bitch ass shit, but type, you know? You know what I mean? It's like that.
No, I mean, yeah, it sucks. Like you can't even say something like safe space because I mean, like the fellowship, it does kind of feel like that where you're just like, oh, I can just kind of do what I want. There's thousands of people that are like 450 people show up to that meetup. Like that's a lot of people. Like
that's crazy.
And like before long, give it a couple of years, this will be a convention.
Yeah,
you'll be doing the FNT convention. Yeah, it's nuts.
That's really what it turns into. You just keep it annual. People keep showing up, man. Like that shit's gonna be crazy because it's already once it starts. The way things work, like if it's when it's small, maybe you can get like I said, for like 5 years have nobody. But then once you get like that, the actual base, that shit will just grow and grow and grow. It'll be nonstop as long as you do it. It's like they're unstoppable right now.
Fire Fairy says Flood is an expert on male attractiveness.
Okay. I mean, I'm just a human, you know what I mean? I've been alive. I'm living in the same world. Let's not deny it. You know what I mean? Like, I know a handsome man when I see him.
There's a lot of handsome motherfuckers at that meetup.
There is.
Darth Call is one of them. Darth Call is a handsome dude.
He is. That's why I was hanging next to him the whole time. You know what I mean?
We got to see Call without the shades. It was crazy, man. And I would have walked right by him 30 times if you had.
I had to be like, hey, you know who this is? Multiple times all night. That was the craziest thing to me. Sunglasses really make him a whole different person.
For sure.
That was the craziest psyop all week, to be honest. Just that one day of seeing people really not know who he was until he has glasses on. It's crazy.
Yep. Well, and then I was like looking back at old like videos of him and like Twitch streams and stuff. I'm like, dude, like it's the perfect incognito. You would never know.
It's crazy. And like with his characters, he has like no glasses, but then it's still like it's a whole different person. This dude, he has it locked. He knows what he's doing, bro. He knows what he's doing.
That's the thing too. I always wonder like these meetups make me question like, am I going about my my moniker the right way? Because before I rebranded and went to YouTube, I used like my government name. You're
wilding, but yep.
Right, and then
that's crazy.
But I want to keep using. Risky. I know I want to keep using the moniker because I do want to hide a little bit behind that and not expose.
Yep.
Like Absolutely. It's almost like I want to wait till I've sort of secured a foothold.
Absolutely.
Before I start like throwing my name out there.
It's actually the smart way to do things in this world. Like you honestly, they'll probably still find it out, but like in the beginning, that name sticks. So most people won't even look past that. But some people, it's a little bit of defense from weird shit because you could also get like swatted. Like people could just do dumb shit. Just knowing your name, like, oh, we're just gonna guess it's one of these ones, and they happen to get that, then you're in danger because people are stupid. Right. I would say, keep the moniker as long as you can.
and my name is pretty unique, and like you wouldn't like. There's not
Jason
many.
Momoa.
Hold on, let me let the hair down so we can really. Hold on.
That is a crazy name. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you're Jason. You're Aquaman, bro. You are Aquaman for sure. Like Aquaman Jesus.
Dude, the funniest thing was I lived in Hawaii for 10 years. And
look, like you're just living the stereotype, bro. But go ahead. Yeah.
Listen, I gotta do what I gotta do. So yeah, I was living there, I was bartending. So, I'm a white guy. I have a nice tan, in the summertime. And people would come up to me constantly. Everyone ever tell you look like Jason Momoa? And I'm like, don't let these locals hear you, man. Like, I'm not even local. But yeah, get it all the time.
I mean, it's probably not a bad thing.
No,
probably nothing to complain about. Because I get like lesbian all the time. Even Mo saw a picture of a lesbian, was like, "Where'd they get that picture of you?" Like, not even. And the messed up thing is, she wasn't joking. She thought it was a video. She thought it was a picture of me. And then I showed her like an hour later, and she's like, "That's not you in that picture." Like, I was like, "Damn, that's kind of offensive in reality." But like, that's my life, man. That's my legitimate life. Grimy, my own girl.
Is there? What is your celebrity doppelganger? I don't even know. I can't even.
Babe, who's my celebrity doppelganger? Get the fuck, Lil Uzi. I'm sick of hearing that. Just because tattoos in black, like that's racist of my own girl. I don't look like this guy.
I gotta see this person, Lil Uzi.
I don't see it. People say Juice WRLD. People say Lil Uzi. People say a lot of things.
I guess because of the tattoos. But
that's it. It's just black and tattoos. That's all it is in my head. Because don't ever talk to me like that. I could say Red Fox. Like, disrespectful. Anyway.
Chat, who does Flawed look like?
Disrespectful.
I'm interested what chat thinks.
I've been watching Aquaman the whole time and didn't know it. Yeah, that's his live stream. This live stream is Aquaman.
Oh, yeah.
On YouTube.
He's way better looking than Jason Momoa. Oh, wow, thank you. That's
she
quite
doesn't like Jason Momoa. She makes it known that she is not attracted to that man. So she's attracted to you. You're doing good.
Streams that got real deep and was just what I needed to hear that day. The Flawed streams have just helped me a lot lately. That's awesome.
Who said that?
Bobby Beatty.
Oh, damn.
How do you pronounce your name, Bobby?
That. Yeah, you should let us know. That's the thing. So we don't just keep saying it wrong. Because
I need a phonetic spelling. We've been watching Aquaman the whole time and didn't notice it. What?
Do I burn Flawed or be nice? Bro, just be honest. You know what I mean? Because don't preemptively like say some shit like that, because whatever you say, I'm going to be offended by it at that point. You just say it, I can be like, yeah or no. But saying, should I burn them? Don't get banned. All right?
I'll ban you from Shags chat. You guys almost got hit by a car?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. I'm just joking, Sleazy. But yeah. So we were leaving the meetup. Because we were like, we want Chick-fil-A. And it was too hype. There was too many people there. So we were like, we're going to go, me, Mo, and Carl were like, we're going to go to Chick-fil-A. Didn't tell anyone, just dipped. And we were actually going to smoke, but then it was like Chick-fil-A while we were in the car is what ended up happening.
Right.
So on our way back from there, we're like crossing the street. Oh, no, was it on the way too? I think it was on the way too. We're crossing the street to get to the parking lot. And there's a red light, and like it turns green, and the car that's at the light, Mo is like about to step into the lane, and we're thinking the car's gonna stop so we can keep going, and the car's just like speeds up and tries to hit Mo while she's like literally stepping into the lane. This dude, he almost took her out, bro. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen a car intentionally try to hit a person. That car was like, I don't care if I hit you, I'm going first.
Vegas is wild, man.
Yeah, bro. People are crazy.
It was your first time, right?
Yeah, ever. Yeah.
Are you gonna go back?
Yeah, hell yeah. That was bro. The hotel had restaurants in it. Like that is enough right there. I just went downstairs and like there was burgers and chicken and like fucking seafood. That was like fire.
Where'd you guys stay?
Fire. The Signature MGM.
Oh, okay. Is that the same place that Garrett was staying?
Yeah. So Garrett was in Tower 2. We were in Tower 3.
Oh, okay.
So we just had to like walk through a hall. Bro, it was crazy. You walk through a hallway, you're in a different building, and there's like like the escalator things, but like just forward. I don't know what they're called, but they move on the ground like
Oh, the moving
things.
floor or whatever.
Yeah, it was just like, bro, it was a 2-mile walk to food. That's the thing. Inside the hotel, it was a 2-mile walk to food. So I lost like 5 pounds. It's crazy. That's real. I came here and was like, damn, I was just 210. Now I'm 205.
I don't know how I lost a pound, and I was eating like burgers.
Yeah,
and shit.
me too.
I don't eat burgers and shit anymore. And I was like, I think I had like 2 or 3 while I was there.
Bro, I had a shake. I had tacos. I had like a burrito. I was eating just straight up nasty food.
Yeah,
but it was good. But it was nasty. I should have gained weight, but I didn't. It's crazy.
Yeah, I stepped on the scale today at the gym, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
all right.
Maybe I'll take okay, I gotta walk more. It was, bro. That was dope, though. I would definitely go back. Absolutely. Because there's too much I didn't do. It was like playing Top Golf was fun.
Yeah.
Like, there's other shit there that I want to do now.
Yeah, Vegas is insane. Like, I mean, and
you go there honestly, right?
Well, my wife and I used to go once a year. Before we had kids, and then we haven't really been back since. I think we went once when my older boy was like 6. No, he was young. He was probably like a year old, I think, and we went out there just for like 2 days.
Yep.
And but that's usually what we do, 2 or 3 days, like during the week, because it's cheap.
What we did, yeah.
And then we head home usually on a Friday or maybe a Saturday morning.
Yep.
But like our schedule is literally like wake up, get breakfast, go to the pool from like 10 till like 3, go back to the room, and then drink in the pool, go back to the room, and then chill for like 2 hours, maybe take a nap.
Yeah.
Get dressed, go out, like eat somewhere, whatever. Like
that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Like if you're out there, you got to live it up. Like we didn't go to sleep until like 3 every morning.
Yeah.
Which is not what I do. I usually like I told you I got to leave early because I got to go to sleep. Like that's Mo would be like just staring at me like, nigga, you got to go to sleep because in the morning you're not gonna wake up, and I have to wake up tomorrow. So it's like that week, bro, of just not going to sleep. I was like, I felt crazy. I felt like I was on drugs. I felt like I was out there doing coke. Like that's what it felt like because I was just up and I can't handle it. But I handled it. It was cool.
No, that's cool.
3 there, 5 here. So
Matrix says, Flawed Squad, loves Flawed and Mo and Gator. Love y'all, have to go. Love seeing my people here.
Appreciate you, Matrix.
Thanks for sending your crew over. Yeah, thanks for sending your crew over. That's really cool.
Try, man. I try. It's kind of late. Like the whole squad goes to sleep around this time. So we got some people who are hanging, which is dope.
Yeah, that's awesome. This is like my normal time slot when I'll go. Like we start our midweek hump show at 9. And then that's because it's when my kids go to sleep. Yep. My kids are usually asleep by like 8:30, and then I chill for a second, and then
that's when you get your time.
Yeah,
yep, that makes sense.
But yeah, dude, I'm stoked for Vegas. It was really cool, like meeting everyone there, and then doing the show live in a studio is like
that was fire.
Top tier.
They just were letting people just shoot podcasts there. That was so dope, bro. Like,
yep,
the nice studio. That was a nice studio. They know what they were doing. I never seen like anything like that. Mine's in my living room. Like I have some monitors, some tables. It's a mess, and like that shit going in there and seeing they got like that was inspirational to me.
It was like it's when I talked with Culture Casino about getting the space. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'll talk to so and so." I was like, "All right," and then. On the way down, like on the flight, I was like, maybe that's what I want. Maybe that's what I should do. Like just build out a studio like locally in Salt Lake, and then use it and like rent it out to people. If FNT ever came up this way, or if anyone comes through, like fucking have it. You got a studio to use.
That's more of a reason for like people to show up. Like, oh, we got a studio over there. Let's set it up over there. We could all like that could be like a whole system. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that could be a whole everyone making money, everyone making content. That shit would be dope.
Hell yeah, dude. I saw this. I want to share this real quick because I saw it on Twitter and I just thought I've never been this fucked up, but
I probably have.
I just don't. I don't know what this like would look like or how it would feel.
Now I want to know what you're talking about. Oh, he's on opiates. Oh no.
I was gonna say, do you think he's like on pills?
Yeah, he's on either pills, he's on fentanyl, he's on something like that. I've seen that too many times. My best friend used to do this every day, no matter what.
This is at the Taco Bell in Niles. I'm sitting here.
Oh, he's bugging.
I can't believe.
How? So no one's there with him? There can't be anyone in there with him because he would have had to get sent home. Yeah, that's
Holy
heroin.
Shit, dude.
That's fentanyl. That's either fentanyl. That could be Xanax. I think it's fentanyl though. In reality, that could be a lot of Xanax, but even I think it's really fentanyl. Cause that's fentanyl. This dude's doing too much. He's super high. Hand to the face. Yep, that's that stuff.
How long does something like that last? Like,
So he'll be doing that for like probably like 10 minutes, and then he'll just be high after that. He'll wake up, get it together. He just got high at this point, like probably like a minute or two, maybe like 3 minutes before this.
Like it just hit him, and now he's just like trying to.
Yeah.
Wow, bro.
Yep, and he's just gonna be stuck like that, and he's gonna keep trying to do things and keep falling asleep, and it just doesn't stop for like 10 minutes, and then he'll go back to normal, and he'll still be obviously high, but it won't be that high.
Oh, did he fall down?
Usually they don't, but if he did, he's really rocked.
Dude's getting out of his car. I feel like he fell down, but
he should get out of his car. He should spray this dude.
Like, where's his manager, dude?
Do something with it. Yeah, he's out, bro. He don't even care. He needs fired. Yeah, he needs to be fired. Something needs to happen. He could burn down that Taco Bell.
It's funny. So I've done. So a little backstory for me. Like I have epilepsy, which I developed like in college. Like I was like 22.
You developed it?
Yeah. So like I didn't have it, and then like too much drinking. Like I get it from like stress, no sleep, dehydration, like all that stuff. So I got to be careful. Like when I yeah.
Old man flawed. Old man Shags.
Yeah, old man Shags for real.
That's crazy. Damn.
So rough. Like when I was in high school, like we just did the normal shit, but like I never did it at a frequency that I was able to gather any sort of tolerance.
Yeah.
So like even smoking weed, like if I'm not careful, like I'll just get like violently high where I just like smell colors. Like it's like it's yeah, dude. Like I remember one time I got so high, I scratched my face, and I just like I just felt that mark on my face, and it felt like it was like going inside. It was like a cool feeling, but
that's not like the first time I ever got high. I thought my face was melting. Damn, you just left the impact on yourself.
Yeah, it was
that like acid.
No, exactly. And I just thought like this is too much. And I had an edible one time. My buddy didn't tell me to eat like a quarter of it, so I just pop that fucking thing in my mouth.
That must have been. You can't stop that. That's like you're gonna be like that for a few hours.
It was like it was probably like 4 hours of like being really high,
ridiculously unfathomable high.
Yeah,
that's why I can't mess with.
So like seeing something like that, like nothing like that has ever happened to me. I've gotten like blackout drunk before, so maybe I did that, but
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like fentanyl and like opiates have like this weird effect where people think they're awake. Like with alcohol, you'll bug out and then pass out. With fentanyl, like you're up, but you're just doing that, like, which is crazy. You won't just go to sleep. You'll never just go to sleep. You'll just be like, I'm awake. I'm up. Sleep. It has a weird effect. No one just goes to bed for some reason. Just take your ass to bed.
Oh, and that's scary because, like you said, like if that's a fast food restaurant, like he could burn the place down, like fucking drop the grease and like dude, you just wonder like where is his supervisor? Like what's going on in there? There's no one there watching him.
New Hampshire, that's like just normal. New Hampshire, like they have like videos of people going viral. There was this one where these I think what is it called? It's called there's a website and they have like this person is high, I think is what it's called. And New Hampshire's on there so many times. I've seen this one where there's this couple who are both, they're at this place called Richdale's, which is in New Hampshire. It's the store that everyone used to go to. And they're parked outside, like in front of like the ice. Their driver's seat is open. Their passenger seat is open. They're both sleeping in their car with their doors wide open. And there's a baby just like chilling in the back. And on the side, there's like another homeless guy just like knocked out high over there, like trying to stand up. And it's like, that's just a regular scene in New Hampshire. You walk past like, oh, that's crazy.
That shit breaks my heart. Anytime I see some kids, like there was a video I saw of a cop walking up to a car, windows are up, it's like 90 degrees outside, baby in the fucking backseat, lady fucking forgot the baby. Anything that involving a kid being neglected, can't do it.
You should be done. Yeah, you should go to prison. You should go to prison.
For real.
That's your only job after you have a kid. That's your only job. That's crazy to me. That type of shit, like leaving a kid in the car, you got to be crazy. But
yeah, I just don't understand. Like, I'm so hyper aware of my kids and where they are. Like, I can't imagine not knowing.
Yeah.
Like, my infant child is in the back.
How busy are you? I just don't. You got to be delusional at that point.
Yeah, it's sad. But yeah, anytime I see stuff like that, like kids just being neglected because their parents are, OD'd in the front seat or whatever. Like, I can't do it.
I had a friend that there were a couple, they were young, they were like 20, both of them, and they had a kid, and they were fentanyl addicts, and they both not only like just were high, they both overdosed. And I forget how the cops got in there. Someone figured out, I think the kid was walking outside. The kid figured out how to go outside, and it was a child, like not even a child, a toddler. Walking outside in the front yard, cops go up there, had to Narcan them and like bring these two parents back to life who got high and overdosed with their kid in the house, and it was only them.
Wow.
Like, craziness. That was Nashua. That's like right outside in Manchester. Crazy.
You guys should see Hollywood these days. Calls it. Yeah, I've heard that.
I've seen some videos.
David Caseta says, I would have gone and stayed at my friend's place had I known how to hang with you guys. Anything is better than Southern California. Yeah, man. We would have loved to meet more people. There was even people there that I know who didn't come up and say hi, and I was like, dude, you were at the meetup and you didn't come say hi. Like, you ever see me out in public? I do not bite, man. Ask Flood.
Nah, he bit me. He definitely bit me, but it was cool though. Yeah, it was all right. I didn't mind it, but it was cool.
It was more of a gnawing. I just kind of like.
Yeah, it didn't stop the whole time. The entire time he was just on my shoulder, just biting, gnawing. It was fucking lit though. Like, honestly, I didn't go see Craig, which I kind of regret. But he was like moving around, and I didn't feel like moving from the corner that I was in because had anxiety. But this dude is like 9 feet tall, and I definitely should have went and said hi because I regret it now.
He was a big boy. I was surprised. Yeah, because I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, Craig," like, and I was nervous. Like, I'm like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Tom." Or I didn't say Tom. I was like, and that's the other thing. I hate saying like, "Oh, I'm the Shagsworth."
Yeah, I'm Shags. Like, I hate saying every time someone says what's your name and I say Flawed, I'm like, awkward. That doesn't even sound right. It's not my name every single time.
Yeah, but but some people know the name, and he knew because Adams mentioned me once or twice. So he's like, "Oh yeah, Adams mentioned you," and so. But it was just cool.
Staff.
Yeah.
Get back on there.
I love hanging out there. It's hard because like you guys go live like right when we're starting to do like evening stuff with the kids.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm free. A lot of times I'm listening and just having a blast anyway, and you guys are just riffing off each other so well. But I don't mind filling in when someone's around, or when someone's like, not around.
I'm gonna tell him because I feel like you would be a good mix.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's fun.
Like first show is always like hard. When I got in there, I didn't say much, but like once you get in there, that shit's fun.
Yeah, and Adam has good control over stuff, which is nice because I've been on some where everyone's just sort of like, bah!
Yeah, it gets like that sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes it gets to that point, and Adam will just be like, okay, calm down, which helps. Definitely.
Darth Call says he bites. I do, but like I said, it's more of a playful, like like when you get the puppy and you're playing with him and he's just kind of like, that's me.
Yep. He doesn't want to hurt you, but he's like, look, I could if I wanted to. Yeah, that's the energy I got.
What's up, Bablito? Bablito's in the house. What's going on, brother? He said, bring the kids on stream. Well,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Flav, we really got to talk about kids. The hair color, though. My brother in Christ. What is this?
So originally, I thought dye goes out of your hair. I didn't know my hair would still be dyed right now, but it was to my head, and I was like, I'm just gonna go all blonde, and now the blonde is still there, and now it looks like if you look at it, like it's all black, and then it's blonde on the end, so it like looks like weird. It's like a weird look. I can't even explain it because it makes my hair look like. It looks awkward, and I didn't expect it to still be dyed. That's what I'm trying to say. It's still dyed, and I'm not a fan of it.
Are you doing Are you gonna grow your hair out? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Yeah, but like every day I look at it, I'm like, I need to cut it because this blonde is annoying me. But I did it. I made the choice. Nice mullet. It's not a mullet. Making things up in there, Nuke. Not a mullet at all.
So the election's coming up, and it looks like Trump is running again. Has he got your vote again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he's a politician, but he's the only one that isn't a politician.
Right. Yeah.
He always had my vote just because that. Like you said, no one's perfect. He's made some dumb decisions, but if we got to vote, I'm not voting for anyone that's been in politics. I'm definitely not, because these people are all the same, and they showed it. Like, as we saw America like go through crazy things, and just politicians that are supposed to be on America's defense just attack Trump along with the left, and just like it's like it doesn't even make sense, and they want you to think, nah, this isn't some kind of like he's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. We're the good Republicans. He's the bad Republican. It's like, no, you're with these people. You're agreeing with these people over here, and it's always that is what it feels like. Everyone is against Trump, and I just feel like that's not for no reason.
Yeah, imagine like working together. Like it's weird because it always seems like this sort of like high school beef in politics, where it's you're not on my team. Oh, you're against me, so we got to find some way to like you're supposed to be representing America and the people, so work together.
Self-interest. It's all self-interest. Every single politician, even Trump. That's the thing. Even Trump, but Trump, if it's not for his like policy, it's for him as a person. Because I remember just him dissing reporters to me was like, that's my type of energy. When energy would say when reporters would say something crazy, he would just say some shit that was just like fire, and I'd be like, yep, he's that guy. And I was liberal this time, and I was like, that's how he won me over. His daily press conferences during the pandemic. I was like, this guy. Who else is doing that? Now you don't even see Joe Biden.
Yep. Well, him and even his press secretary at the time, McEnany.
Yep.
She was like giving it
she was
to
going
like
hard too.
Yeah. And I'm like, like fucking stand up and like
they had good energy. It was like it just didn't. It felt like I hate like the PC. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to say, so I'm gonna walk that line thing. Like he didn't think about that. He was just like, nope, this is how I feel, and that is how I am too. So
and I think that's
for me.
I still think that's his like Achilles heel a bit, is because he doesn't know when to turn it off.
Yeah, no. Sometimes he's ridiculous. Sometimes he is ridiculous.
Right.
But that's the nature of him. That's why I know it's like he's just being himself, while also I guess he's a rich guy. So I still don't trust him for that, just because he's a billionaire, and it's like you only get to that point by being a certain type of person. So I know I can't trust you, but if, like I said, if my choices are him and politicians, I'm going him, because he wants to make money.
Yeah, and he seemed to walk an interesting line, because he's like you said, he's a billionaire, millionaire, whatever, and so he knows what he needs to do to make money, and sometimes that's at someone else's detriment. But at the same time, like he understood like what was like keeping America back from certain things, like like the deregulation stuff. Like people just don't understand what was going on. Like there is deregulation, but like it's to keep American companies here, right, and also to reduce the cost of like cars overall, because with increased regulations, they have to make cars a certain way, which can be more expensive.
Yeah,
you know, boom, and like people can't separate.
People see the one part of the moving the whole thing, and then people just tell them bad things about, like, oh, this is bad. I'm only gonna see the cons. I'm not even gonna look for the positives because I don't like Trump, and that's how people. It's the confirmation bias that will never let them see the bigger picture of anything that happens.
Right.
Like when people complain about how he handled the pandemic, it's like people were asking for the thing that he rolled out, the thing that he says is an achievement. Mm-hmm. If there's part of America asking for it, part of America not asking for it, if he gives it to the part of America that's asking for it and doesn't force the part of America that's not asking for it, like, is it really, he's just being a president. He's being a president of America at that point. He's not just only choosing the people who support him. Oh, you support me, so I'm going to do what you want. Like, he's being a president. And I couldn't be a president at that time.
Yeah. And not for nothing, but like what I equate that whole situation to, like with Trump trying to decide what to do, especially with the pandemic, is like having a small kid like pulling on your shirt, telling you something. Like,
I'm dying. I'm dying if you don't do this.
Right. So it's like, you know, he was damned if he did, damned if he didn't, and that's how his whole presidency went.
Yeah.
And that's the fear I have with him running again. If he wins, like there's a lot of speculation that he's going to run away with this.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know, man. Like,
will he get anything done?
Right. Will he get anything done? And you know, part of me thinks, is it worth it to go back to like these brain rot fucking, you know, Democrats like running, like, you know, being a part of everything? Like it almost feels like it would be a regressive thing. Like, I think he would still do good shit, but like, I don't know. Like, on the one hand, you just get career politicians who are just going to keep poisoning the well.
Thing. I think we're in a crazy time in America that's like, I don't even see how we can continue on this path in any way, no matter who gets voted for,
right?
And like be flourishing. I don't see it. I feel like we're off the deep end as a country, and like it's gonna be grand struggles for every single person. Every person's gonna be going through it because we're falling off the cliff already. Like whoever gets voted for is just gonna keep falling.
It feels like it
happening. I've been feeling like that for a while now.
David Caseta, no, I live in Utah. I do not live in California, thank God.
Ew, Utah?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, what's that?
That's why when you said, when the question was like, where are the Wasatch Mountains? I'm like, dude, it's right here. Like, I live on the Wasatch Front, the Wasatch Mountains. So
really?
Yeah.
I literally never heard that word until today. I've never heard of that shit.
Yeah. And it's like,
there's Utah too. We had a lot of Utah today.
Utah is it's a great state. It's just like it was. Name. What's that?
I like the name. Like, Utah sounds like a rap name. Sounds like something a rapper would call themselves.
Lil Utah?
Yeah. Like, I can hear a rapper with that name.
Bobby Beatty says, I think what? I think Trump is seriously genuine and really wanting to fix this country. He's the only guy that doesn't need the money. All he never took a dime. He donated his salary. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it kind of comes with he's not a career politician.
Yeah.
He's a businessman. So I think that goes a long way. And he's just trying. I mean, even if it is his own self-interest, like, it still benefits other people. Yep, like, he's not just like making policy to benefit Trump Industries, you know?
And you can't point to a time that he did. That's the thing.
Right.
So it's like, I feel like he would be the better option, but I don't feel hopeful. Even if he is, like you said, there's a bunch of people in America who want to see him fail and will sabotage America just to do it. So it's like,
yep.
It's no matter what, we're setting up for either bad times because the president is terrible, or because the president is good and not a part of the team.
Yeah.
Like, so no matter what, it's gonna be an issue. And Trump is like bringing unprecedented times
yep.
to America. Like, getting indicted and all these types of things. And it's like it shows how hard they'll go and how far they'll bend America's rules or break America's rules just to get their agenda pushed. And
that's the most insane part of this. Like watching them try, they attempted to impeach him twice. Yeah. You know, all this stuff, it's always like, oh, he's going to get charged with this. And it's like, nothing's happened with that. Everyone forgot about it already. Like, it's just wild. Again, it goes back to like, everyone's brain is so rotten with Trump derangement that they can't even see past their own nose.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, there's plenty of people who have been rigging the system and doing shit, double dealing under the table for years. Look at fucking Nancy Pelosi, for Christ's sake. Like, and it's
look at all the a lot of those Congress people. These people have crazy arrests. They've been arrested for multiple. I just saw this video not too long ago of this dude. He was like talking about. He was like, "Do you think this is the NFL or the NBA?" And he's like,
"Oh, bro,
And he went through all the arrests and everything that they've done, and he's like, "No, it's Congress. That's not."
I want to see if I can find that video real quick.
That shit that hits, and that's reality. And these people just are the ones who are dictating everything, calling Trump a criminal. It's crazy.
There is a way. What is the? Oh, here it is. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I think.
I don't know where I saw it.
Oh, here it is. It's. Let me pull it up over here. No, boomer. I'm boomering, chat. All right,
that's why I don't be looking for anything. That's why I need a fucking producer. Because
exactly.
As soon as I want to find something, I can't, and it's just like 20 minutes of me being like, okay, well, that's a failed segment.
All right.
Yeah, here we go.
And he said, "Dad, guess which is it? Is it NBA or NFL? 36 have been accused of spousal abuse. 7 have been arrested for fraud. 19 have been accused of writing bad checks. 117 have directly or indirectly been bankrupted at least 2 businesses. 3 have done time for assault. 71, I repeat, 71 cannot get a credit card due to their bad credit.
That's crazy.
14 have been arrested on drug-related charges. 8 have been arrested for shoplifting. 21 currently are defendants in lawsuits, and 84 have been arrested for drunk driving in the last year."
84 arrested for drunk driving in the last year.
How many of you think NBA? How many of you think NFL? Well, the answer is neither. It's the 435 members of the United States Congress.
That's like,
wham!
That's crazy. That's crazy. These people are out here making laws, bro, or passing bills and writing bills and all this craziness, and these people are all criminals.
Mr. Nick Weiser, what's going on, dude?
What's good, bruv?
What's up, guys?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you guys? I saw the photos.
Just chilling.
What's up, Brahma?
What's good, bruv?
How's it going?
Yeah, it was fun out there, man.
No, dude, it looked great. I saw photos. I was so happy to see all those photos. I'm like, man, I hope they post more because it had me laughing my ass
I should have took more. I didn't take any. I didn't take one picture the whole time. So I got.
Dude, that's fine. Everyone had you covered.
Picture, but during the meetup, I didn't take any. Yeah, there's a lot of pictures of me. I just don't know where they're at. I was posting them.
Yeah,
Yo, Matt
Vader are showing up in memes.
Dude, the memes from Vegas were just killer, dude.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. They were so good. And shouts out to the Legion of Memers, because Chrissy Mayer actually mentioned the Legion of Memers during her show.
She did.
Yeah.
That was fire.
Yeah.
She definitely did. That was dope.
That's awesome.
We were just watching the video of the guy who was saying, like, you know, we got to decide whether he lists off a bunch of people and said, are these people from the NBA or the NFL? And you know, we'll play it again for you if you guys haven't seen it yet. We'll play it for you. It was really good.
It's a good video.
I gotta share my screen again. God.
On camera. They don't know it's weed.
There we go.
And he said, "Dad, guess which is it? Is it NBA or NFL? 36 have been accused of spousal abuse.
I have seen it.
Arrested for fraud. 19 have been accused of writing bad checks. 117 of direct.
Does that surprise anyone writing bad checks? They can't keep
That's
our own
basically
budget
what
order.
Congress is for.
Yeah.
Or indirectly been bankrupted at least 2 businesses. 3 have done time for assault. 71, I repeat, 71 cannot get a credit card due to their bad credit. 14 have been arrested on drug-related charges. 8 have been arrested for shoplifting. 21 currently are defendants in lawsuits, and 84 have been arrested for drunk driving in the last year.
Within the last year. Yeah.
How many of you think NBA? How many of you think NFL? Well, the answer is neither. It's the 435 members of the United States Congress.
That shit hits. That's bars. That hits like a punchline in a rap song. That's crazy.
Sure does.
He unrolled that perfectly.
I'm
That's
just
how you
so-
make content, man. That's
Was that
content
recent?
right there.
Or was, I mean, it looked like it was a little bit older, but
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing. Even if it was in the last
the
10
message
years,
is the same. Yeah.
right? The message is the same.
They're the ones who don't leave their office.
Yep. I don't wanna... Yeah, we were also just talking about too. We kind of got to this point because we were also discussing Trump and then the election coming up, and you know,
we were talking about that and yelling what was going on with Trump and 2022, 24, and I said it during the midterms. Biden is going to be the one running. Everyone's like, "Oh, I don't know if Biden's going to be the one." I said it from the beginning. They're going to put him up there. The only way he doesn't run is if he's straight up dead.
Yeah.
They're going to make him run. He's the perfect thing, and I'm going to say he's a thing to control.
It would make puppet.
Yeah, he's the perfect puppet. Like, you don't know what decisions are actually his versus what isn't. It's the perfect crime.
The only real surprise is that they're not dumping Kamala. But I don't think they have the ability to admit when they've done something wrong. So
no, they don't. They rather sink the Titanic than to admit that they're wrong over anything that makes their political opposition be right. And it's such a weird concept. And I feel like that's definitely what's driven a lot of the division in the last 8-9 years. They've just taught this, like people do, incentivize themselves into saying, no, don't admit if you're wrong about something. Just keep going further.
That's
and that's
everything.
When you do that, when normal people, like, I don't know, regular people see politicians, these people who are supposed to be held to this higher standard, saying, hey, look at these people, they're saying to double down. Well, I guess I should double down too. And that whole effect, it carries over, and now everyone's doing it. No one wants to admit they're wrong. It's a whole everyone is at fault but me. But the problem is everyone else is saying that too. So no one wants to be wrong. Everyone wants to be right.
Well, one thing I want
sucked into that as a society because the only way to fight cancel culture is to never apologize.
Yeah.
Agreed.
The one thing I did want to, I was saying in the chat during Base Staff Monday, it was like, so if you guys probably don't know, but Adam and Flawed and Base Staff guys, they went over this. It was from like 1912. It was a test, an 8th grade graduation test.
Yeah.
And everyone,
it was ridiculous.
It was difficult. It was a difficult test for even adults, to answer. Yep. But what I kind of came to the conclusion was, like, what I've seen over the past, let's say 20 years of my conscious life is that we're, like technology, humans are being pushed into this like planned obsolescence phase. Yep. So like, if Chad doesn't know what I mean, like your technology, your phones are made to essentially break or not be useful after a few generations. And I feel like that's where we're going with humans, is like that test. So there's a company, I think, out of like Ohio. They were like a safe company, and they like drove themselves out of business because their product was so good.
Yeah.
Like they would sell a safe and like, people wouldn't have to buy another one. So that's like in 1912, you had to have all this knowledge.
Yeah.
You didn't have everything at your fingertips. You needed to learn how, what the different branches of government were. You needed to know where, geography of the world, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Now
we don't teach people to remember things. We just teach them just look it up on Google, and then and it's like people aren't learning about moderation with the phones and technology. They just think just rely on it. It's like, hey, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of modern technology. I mean, because of it, I get to talk with you guys, and you're all from different parts of the world, so I will always cherish that aspect. But I never let it be the be all end all of my life. Like I still remember, like if I need to go somewhere, I know how to get there. And in case something happens to my phone, like I know how to get around. I still remember key phone numbers. Like if something goes wrong, I can contact my girlfriend for an emergency. Like I know who I need to contact, like for emergencies. Like I do know the more important aspects of my life when things go wrong, and I will always choose to hold those close to me because I'm not going to just drop them at the whim. And you
That's
can
they
even
want.
apply that logic even with stuff like what's happened with Amazon a few years back when as much as I hate the movie, but my opinions are irrelevant. I'm just trying to make a point here. Look at what happened with Gone with the Wind. Like, if you bought it on digitally, but they removed it, you don't actually own it because they just took away your $20 you spent. And I knew people like my brother, he was translating to digital, but once he saw what they're doing with Gone with the Wind, he's just like, okay. Any thoughts of me, moving over to digital only? I now have to go back to physical, which for me, I never stopped going physical. I'll use the digital copy and all that because that's cool and great. But once again, I back up everything. I don't want to get reliant on all of it because once again, it's about having the best of both worlds. But the problem is we're only teaching people reliant on one side of it versus the other.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
If you want another really great example of how inarticulate we are compared to the former generations, look at like letters from soldiers in Gettysburg. Just writing back to their wife or their girlfriend, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? The language that they use, I mean, we would describe it as flowery now, but it was articulate.
Like
it could actually say something.
Well,
We
that was
don't do that very well anymore.
Right. I mean, and it's
shit.
and it's a product of technology. Like there's not really anyone to blame other than people who, like not teaching Danielian handwriting with cursive and all that stuff. Like that's a huge loss. But like, being able to correct yourself like immediately with a text message, that breaks down communication because like you said, when you had to write a letter to your loved one, you needed to say like what you meant to say. You couldn't mess up.
Yeah.
So now, you put in the wrong word. Oh, no problem. Just type real quick. So your language doesn't mean anything anymore.
Right.
And that trickles down through, books, poetry, writing, songs. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, you put out a song and the lyrics are okay. Well, I don't need every song to be a banger because I can just record another one, re-upload later.
You hit on something good, Shags. You hit on something really good there, and I want to, I guess, add to it because when you're mentioning the letters, when you send a letter, you got to send that letter out. So you have to really think about it and take your time with it versus when you see a text message, you're in a more of a rage of emotions. So because you're thinking emotionally, you respond quicker and more reactively. And then sometimes you may say the wrong thing that can get easily more misconstrued versus the thing that you took your time where you're like, I got one chance to get this letter right. So I got to take my time with it and really be thought out with this versus the text where you're just responding very instinctively, and then they're like, "Oh crap, we just said things that didn't even need to be said," and now a conflict that didn't need to blow up did blow up. So that's
every day.
One of the things. Yeah,
that happens to me every day on Twitter or something, bro.
Yep. And music. I mean, Gordon Lightfoot died tonight.
Oh yeah,
one of
R.I.P.
Great lyricist. I mean, we're not getting lyrics like that out of people right now.
Oh no, I mean, and that's
nothing even close. The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald tells a whole story in a 3-4 minute song that actually makes you feel something and feel what those guys went through on that ship.
And that's unfortunate because you have to like now, like that's just how life was before, is you didn't have the technology in between. Like we most of us here or I think all of us here have experienced like the analog and now the digital. So we're able to mix the two. So it's still possible to do, but no one's practicing it. It takes time to to do all this stuff, to communicate. you know, in a letter form. Like, you know, when I was in school, we still had like pen pals, and like we wrote letters to someone. I had a pen pal in Montana, I remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like but I don't even know if they do stuff like that anymore.
Yep.
Some do.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do
I'm
know
not trying to
people
be
who
disrespectful to your music.
Oh, my music, bro.
Yeah.
I think of my shit like right in front of the mic. I don't be putting much thought into my lyricism. I'm not gonna lie.
I
Garrett
know
was
that
calling
last
me
song you
out.
did.
It's like I'm talking. I was just talking on it. That's the thing.
I think he gets the point though. What we're trying to say though, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think he.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
think he
that's-
disagrees.
No,
I
I
mean,
don't.
there
I,
are.
I know
forms of-
lyricism.
Yeah, and that's the
Like-
thing. If you have a natural flow to the way a technique works, well, then you might be able to be one of those guys where you can make that work because you
Yeah.
think fast, you can improvise fast.
Yeah.
That's good. Hey, that's a gift, my friend.
But then
That's
there's
a
people
damn
like
gift.
Eminem that no one ever could like rap like again. That was from like the 90s. And that's why he's
Yes.
still the most streamed rapper still to this day right now, because this dude actually puts time into his lyrics. It's like, it's a difference
Yeah.
from what happens today. Everyone it's like microwave music
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now all you need to do is just mumble and like
Yeah.
kind of rhyme while you do
with
it.
some
You're
melody.
good.
And auto tune.
Well, if
Yep.
you want to make about music, you can look at the way things were recorded via analog and organic sounds. Nowadays, it's all digital. You can do it from your home. You have to do the grind of going to someone's studio,
Right.
getting work with an actual producer who kind of kept you in check. Nowadays, you can just do it all your own home, which in some ways is cool. There are good things to it, but
Right.
the
More
thing is,
minds help music.
sometimes an outsider perspective does not hurt either.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that, and also there's no like, I guess the equivalent, the musical equivalent of a hero's journey. There's no journey of going to the studio, going through the whole process
Yeah.
of building yourself up, because everything you just do at home, which once again I do understand there are some good things to it,
But it
but you
lowers the
definitely do
quality
get
of everything.
it lowers the quality,
Yeah.
and you get less of a life interactive experience because you're not going out there, you're not trying to reach out to the labels, you're not going out there and having the face-to-face conversations
Yep.
with people. It makes such a difference when you talk to someone and you have that face-to-face conversation. It's such a difference maker, and
That's why we
it's
go to the
still-
meetups, because
that's
you
exactly
talk to
the-
people,
Yes.
sitting in the studio, like we, and then we were in Orlando, Nick, sitting around that table, all 8 of us or whatever it was, like,
Yeah.
those are real interactions you have
Different
with
energy.
people. Yeah, it's a totally different. I mean, I love talking to you guys. I can do it all night long, but
It's
it's
special.
so much different to share the space with someone. You actually feel their energy, man. It's like
Well,
that
and you can
whole
also-
building was.
You also get, some recognition of when somebody's trying to, jump into a conversation a little bit better in person.
Yeah.
you can see
All
that.
these streams would be a lot cleaner if we were all sitting around a table.
It's the 1 second that delay hurts a lot of shit, man.
Yeah.
That delay.
Oh, it
Um,
does, but
Well, so Nick, what you were saying, like that all goes back to, just like writing a letter, like analog recording, whether it was film or audio, takes
Mhm.
time. It took a lot more time than now. Like right now, all you need is a computer, or all you need is a phone.
Yeah, phone.
Mhm. Yeah,
phone
you can record
and-
off. You could save a guitar part on your phone now. Once again, there's good, but there is also bad that we're not acknowledging. But carry
Right.
on.
No, I mean that's the difference is when it took like hours or weeks to like press an album,
Yeah.
like back in the day, like you need to make sure that shit
Actually
was
mix it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like that's what we've been told. Like just put your shit on YouTube, just put
You
it
had
out
to
there.
spend time with your music before. Like,
Right.
it took like a year for someone to drop an album back in the day. Now it's like people be dropping multiple albums a year, like it's nothing. Just call them
Yeah.
mixtapes.
You
Well,
had to
and
grow.
90% of what we hear on radio now is written by like 3 or 4
Yeah.
songwriters.
Yeah.
They do all of the songwriting,
Yeah.
and everybody just
No
sings it.
personality at all.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like got to respect your boy Tom McDonald. Like
Yeah.
the dude is like hustling. He's
He does
like
it all.
he's topping charts without even does he even have a label? Is that all
No,
independent?
he had no label
That's
at all.
good that
Yep.
he didn't.
That's-
A guy like that does not need no label.
That's his whole thing.
Especially with the way like the companies are run nowadays. I mean, to be fair, they always were
Yeah,
like
they're-
to an
yeah.
extent
They're
corrupting greed, but
exploitative. All of them.
oh yeah, it's
Yep.
only gotten worse. So no,
Yeah.
good on him. Good on him.
That's like his main thing is to like compete with major labels because of so he uses the internet as a tool, but then he also doesn't sell his albums on streaming platforms. Like he'll sell a song when he drops a video, but all his albums are physical copies to all of his fans. And he's like, has his own setup, which is a crazy, bro. It's so elaborate. This dude he's the only person I've ever seen do that before.
No, that's good. We need more of that. Is because regardless of what he's doing, he's being productive on in every way possible with what he's doing. Whether it's the physical format, whether it's the marketing, it's almost like the '80s style DIY, but with modern technology updates. It's DIY, but with modern technology. So he's using the best of both worlds, the physical and the digital,
to promote himself. He uses the internet technology to promote himself, but he makes his music and his girlfriend is his camera person, and she makes like crazy videos. They have a whole in-house type of his family sets up his videos for him. It's like genius.
That's honestly awesome.
And it's a real connection they got.
And he's got a crew there too. He's got his family there too, who's going to make sure that they don't want to mess it because that's their fans. They're going to make sure we gotta make sure this is good. So
yeah,
and that's good. You want to have people like that. You gotta trust someone at the end of the day, and those are people who it sounds like he can truly trust because they're not just in it for themselves. They want him to have the best success he can have. Man, imagine that when everyone's working together.
Yeah,
so we can all reach the same end goal.
He's about to get interviewed by Ben Shapiro like sometime soon. Yeah, crazy. This dude just every time he does something, he does like something crazier.
Good.
He's definitely he's an inspiration. It's something that like people need. And like again, these are other stories because he's got a bit of a redemption story too, right? Like he was in a bad way and then he sort of just cleaned up his life and found God and everything and
took shit serious.
Which is like it's really that was another part of like my I guess red pilling or awakening was like finding these people who were they were living a life they were told they should live and then like waking up and being like this is not good for me,
totally
it's not good for society. So that was the other part of like finding all these new people that like oh my god there is a way to redeem yourself, don't give up, that cliche that like today is the day to turn it around.
It's true. It's true. The day I overdosed is the day that I started like living my life differently, and now like my life is better than it's ever been. I was on fentanyl for like 6 years.
Holy
crazy.
Shit, dude.
Yeah. Wow. Somehow came back, overdosed, and was like, I need a better life than this. Turned everything around, consciously made the decision, and now it's like, every cliche is real to me now.
What was the? I don't know. I don't mean to make get personal, but what was that moment like? Was it like everything just sort of like burned a little brighter at this point? Like life seemed more precious at that moment, like when you came to?
Yeah, it was like it felt like since I just basically was about to die, like your whole life is you could either even though I should have died, I didn't die. So basically, it was like, why would I? That's basically you're at the edge there. Why everything? I'm already at the bottom. The only thing I can do is like try now. If I actually put effort into, let's see what my life could be if I actually put the effort I put into trying to get drugs and like trying to make my life terrible and being a victim. If I didn't do that, if I actually did what I knew I'm supposed to do, because I feel like it was all you always know what you're supposed to do, and you just find ways to not do it. And it's like I just wanted to my life sucked already. So if my life's gonna suck from trying, then I'll take that over being miserable on purpose.
Right. Oh, it's a good way of putting it. Yeah. My brother was he started on pills and then he was, and by the time he was like trying to clean up, it was heroin.
Yeah.
And he it took he got arrested a few times. He was in California once, got like 2 strikes on his record, and he was like scared the living shit out of him. And then I think he went to jail one more time in Connecticut for something small. I think he just like possession or something like that. Yep. But I remember giving my brother his 2-year sobriety coin. It was talk about a powerful moment, man. Like seeing all those people, some you could tell were just like there because they needed to be, but some many were there like drawing.
Really changed.
Yeah, like there was a lot of people who were just thankful to be standing.
That's what it takes. Shit got to get real for you to really wake up. Like you got to really go through it. That's why I think America is about to go through some hard times because people are in like this state of safety, like they're lulled into a state of everyone should care, and the life is just entitlement and privilege, and it's like
we all live like kings.
Savagery.
Any
Yeah,
other
they have
time
no idea.
Yeah, any other time in history, we would all be basically
Yep.
living the same level as a king, actually better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's gonna take for people to have nothing to realize that they had everything.
Those stories kind of remind me. I think it was the scene. I'm pretty sure I'm remembering right. The scene in Fight Club with the store clerk, where he basically threatens to kill him, and then lets him go, and it says,
"This is a gift.
Everything after this will feel so much better. Everything that he does, everything that he takes joy in, will be so much better because of how that went."
Yep,
it's true.
That's how it goes, man.
Yeah, people don't appreciate their rock bottom, I guess, until they're really there. And some people never reach it, you know. You could have easily blown past that and been in the ground.
I saw my uncle. My uncle did that my whole life. I've seen him like go on drugs, go to jail, get clean, act like his life is gonna be great again, and then just repeat that process over and over and over again. And like mid addiction, while I was deep in my addiction, like he died in the building across the street from me. He overdosed in the hallway. And I woke up and I was like, "That's my uncle's truck out here." Found out he was dead, and I was like, "Damn!" Like,
wow.
Had a cousin, same way.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He didn't make it.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kendon says, "I know a guy who OD'd in the hospital. Saw the pit of hell. The hospital brought him back, and he left all that and got saved." Yeah, man, it's
wow.
That's why, like, you know, I think for a long time I like just dismissed the idea of like God and all that stuff, and like once I saw my brother in that spot and him sort of like drawing, like he's not a religious person, but like seeing other people there and then hearing other people's stories, like it's so powerful because everyone, like, it's something that like they saw, you know, whether you reached out and touched the hand of God or whatever, like
that energy somehow transferred, man.
Right.
That's what that to me, like when they do like this 12 steps and things like that, a main step is like to believe in God, find God, because there's a power in it, whether people want to acknowledge it or not. Like that faith does something, bro. When I was in jail, I was like, that was what really made me like, I needed something because you have nothing. You have no control over nothing at all. And like, I realized it was real in jail. You know what I mean?
And it also gives you a reason to try to change.
Yeah.
Faith, faith, especially in God, religion, it gives you a reason to try to make a change for yourself.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Bobby says, "That's facts. I OD'd for 20 minutes on dope and coke in 2013.
Should be dead.
I flew to Florida for 6 months the next day. The place paid for my ticket to go back then."
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
That's
20 minutes is a long time. That's wild.
Yep.
That's brain damage territory.
Jeez.
That's what's crazy about, like, so with my seizures, I have grand mal seizures, which are like the fall down, shake, and foam or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like those last anywhere between like 15 seconds and like 45 seconds. And it feels.
Do you remember
like,
anything?
No, not really. Like I still try and like, so I've had 5 in my whole life. It's very disorienting. It's like one of the last ones I had, I was actually standing up and I was feeling really weird. And I was like, I'm going to go to bed. And I just passed out and fell right through a wooden rocking chair. When my wife found me, she thought I was like impaled on the thing because like it was just like in pieces underneath me. Mm-hmm. But almost every time the people, you know, the paramedics will be like, are you okay? Like, what's your name? What day of the week is it? You know, all that stuff. I almost always can't tell them what day of the week it is. And like my name, put
you out of it.
Oh, dude, it's like, so just think of like, I mean, for me, it's always like if I'm drinking and I black out, that's exactly how I feel when I wake up. Is like, how did I get here?
So you're up and then you're down.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit!
Like that. I can feel them coming on. There's like what's called an aura that I can feel, and what's weird too is like it's almost like a CD skipping is what it feels like. because like I'll still be doing stuff, but it feels like there's like these little interruptions that are happening, and I'm like, whoa,
So you're going in and out.
Yeah, and
What the
then
fuck?
boom, it's like I'm out.
And that was just like when you were in college, you said.
Yeah, so the first one happened. I was actually taking a final exam for a class, and I thought I was just like really hungover, and then all of a sudden I woke up on the floor, and my roommates
Great way to get out of a test.
Yeah.
Dude, everyone was saying that, dude. But yeah, it was such a traumatic experience. Like it like I had to get surgery on my shoulder because of like how much I was shaking. It pulled my arm out so bad that it tore the labrum in my shoulder.
Damn.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, but that was like a come to Jesus moment for me, because I was like, I can't do this to myself.
Yep.
I'm being told that you got to have fun, you got to go party, you're young. Yeah, but my body can't handle it.
Yep.
So you got to find new ways to stimulate your mind. And that's where I sort of found like being sober and enjoying a party is like one of the coolest shit ever. Like there were so many people wasted in Vegas, but I'm just sitting there like, I got 3 drinks. That's my limit. That's all I do. The rest is just
experiencing it in reality, just a little bit nice. That's how I was. I had like 1 drink every time I went somewhere. I was like in it, but I was feeling nice. It was a good experience.
Right.
I don't do the super drunk in public thing.
Oh, no.
Can't. But damn, you know what's crazy is I think all the time,
then there's
what if I'm epileptic? All the time I think that shit. I'm not, clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Nick?
No, I said no. I was just laughing at what Brahma said because you guys are talking about you guys are talking about your drinking experiences, and just like I could just drink. Let's just say the amount of alcohol I could drink, and then I live the next morning. Everyone's all dead and hungover, and I wake up
What's
like
up?
the sun. Like I'm just like, hey, what's up? Let's get some pizza type of thing. And I'm the type of guy where I could literally pass out drunk, and I had this drink still in my hand, and I wake back up with the drink still in my hand intact.
And sip it after that.
Yeah, it's a bit after that, and I have done that actually. That's literally me. So
Nick's a pro.
I've accepted. I'm just like some reptilian freak in nature or something. I've come to grips with that.
Damn.
Well, I also realized too with the meetup and everything, because everyone's like posting pictures of like what they're doing, and I'm like, when I got home, I was like, hey, I'm just not a picture person. Like I like taking pictures with people and stuff, but and it kind of comes back to the epilepsy thing and seizures. Like I don't drink anymore because like I'm there to experience the moment and live in the moment. Yep. So like the pictures thing always like gets in the way of that. It always feels like unnatural.
Awkward.
Like, oh, hey Flood, real quick, can we stop talking and then take a picture?
Yeah.
Like of course I'll take it if someone asks, but like
I
won't ever like.
But it's like being at a concert and everybody has their phone up looking through the screen at the at what they're recording rather than actually watching the concert going on in front of them.
Right.
It's a psyop, bro. That's so weird.
And it drives my wife nuts too, because like I won't always take pictures of my kids because I'm like right there like trying to play with them. And I'm like, I don't want to stop.
Well, it's because you're living in the moment. You're living in the moment. Like the only I understand like your wife's perspective. Like you want to have that stuff to remember. But the thing is like, and some I have that. Trust me, when I have this conversation with my girlfriend a lot of times. I say, hey, like my mind just doesn't think of cameras when I'm living in the moment. And
I never.
I mean, since she's the one that thinks of cameras, just capitalize on opportunity. I'm the one who's here living. Like I'm a dad. I got two minions by my side, and when I'm hanging out with them, being goofy and being their dad, I'm enjoying the moment, and it's just photos don't come to mind. Yeah. I'm just living, and that's fine by me. I have life. Yeah, it's just normal.
Well, it was normal before we had digital
phones.
Cameras.
Weird.
Yep.
What? Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, you actually had to go. You plan pictures. You had to have film, have a camera. You had to go get it developed. It wasn't just let's snap away at absolutely everything that happens every minute of every day.
Yeah. That's wild to see like how, again, because I've lived in both worlds, and I think we all have lived in both worlds.
Yeah.
Like having your little disposable cameras like for vacations, you come home, you got to go send them away for, you send 3 or 4 of them away to get developed. And then you hope to God
they're not
like,
fucked up.
Yeah, they weren't messed up or oh, dude, it's such a trip. Like I
That
think
you
my
got
wife
3 pictures out of a roll that were actually keepable.
right? There's
Yeah.
I don't know how many rolls I like double exposed because I forgot that there was like film in it or whatever.
Right.
It's just weird. You know, we've lost touch with what it means to just connect with the situations we're in and be a part of the world that we're in. And you know, even you know, I'm sure I'm guilty of, you know, being on Twitter too much and basically like living in that, you know, overexposing yourself to different things, you know, and it's you gotta learn when to sort of like back off of it. And like we were saying before, and Nick was saying, you know, you just gotta learn to balance the two, learn what it's like to be part of the analog world, but enjoy the fruits of the digital world because it's obviously necessary. It's not going anywhere.
It's going to be up to us to teach that, but it's clear the powers that be are not going to be the ones who are going to teach moderation.
Oh, of course not.
Obviously, we got obviously we got 3 dads and a dad to be on the panel. It's up to us to do it. You know what? That's fine. I think that's the best way to handle it anyway. Like my children, they love going outside. They straight up love it.
Yeah.
They love going swimming. It's great.
I was
They
always
love playing
outside as a
around
kid,
in the
man.
dirt. I know. And there's nowhere as many kids say is doing that. So it's like my kids are like these, you know, odd ducklings. Like we'll go to the park and they'll play. They'll build a fort out of sticks. It's great.
Climb
so I
trees.
get to see. Yeah, it's
Right.
awesome. And then when they get home, you know, they'll have their last hour while they're you know using like their Nintendo DS or they're looking at some cool like cat video on YouTube, like YouTube Kids. So we'll say that for like the last hour of the day type thing. They probably watch no more than maybe. I mean, once in a while there'll be like a movie, but that's like once in a while. Or that they'll probably see the actual television for like 2 hours a month, maybe. That's a maybe.
Wild.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
lived on the television, I'm not gonna
They're
lie.
not relying on TV. Yeah, trust me, I know. I lived on television too.
We
Like-
lived on television and movies in a different way, though. You know, we had like sleepovers, and we would all throw in The Running Man or
Right.
you know Total Recall or something, or you know, you actually watched a show so that you could talk about it the next day because it only aired one time.
Oh, that's
you
another
didn't
thing.
get to just
Streaming
watch it
took
whenever the
away.
hell you wanted.
Seasons
Streaming
felt
took that
like
away.
years.
Yeah, streaming took that away. It took away that you're like, oh man, I gotta prioritize my life. Like if there was a commercial break, you ran to the bathroom, you took that piss, or you went to go maybe re-microwave your pizza or something because you gotta get more slices. You made everything urgent because you know you were in that Aerosmith I don't want to miss a thing moment. Nowadays you just like, oh, I can just take my sweet time with it. And yeah, it's so taken for granted. And that's really unfortunate because I get the idea of the binge watching model. I do. But for me, I don't do it. And the reason why I don't do it is because for me, I digest a show better when I watch 1 to 2 episodes at a time. Because the problem is when you binge something, even when you like it, it becomes one big blurry memory. You remember enjoying it, but you can't pick things apart. Also, I like having the conversation with friends over the weeks on end. And that was something I was able to always do. Like when I go to the comic shop, you know, from whether it was the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, like, hey, like, remember what happened on this show? Like, it was great to dissect and theorize. And that was just part of our normal everyday discussions was those things. Or even it was just so fun to do that. And we don't have that nowadays. Nowadays,
that's true.
You have to hold that. Nowadays, spoilers basically find you. Spoilers find you. You don't have to go out of their way to like, you have to like hide from them.
Yeah. I don't remember shit. That was a fact. I don't remember nothing I ever watched.
I just want to say real quick, a serious man came through with $2 super chat. Said it was cool to see Shags and Flawed in Vegas. Hail.
Appreciate you.
A serious man is part of the Legion of Memers. He caught me by surprise because he put together a shirt, made myself and my co-host a shirt with like our 2 like popular memes on them, and then gave us a whole book of memes. Like
what?
Yeah, dude, it was crazy that he had put together. It like very humbling.
Fire.
Yeah, dude, it was a very pleasant surprise. Thank you, dude, again for that. I was looking at the memes the other day. But yeah,
I want
it was
a
like
fucking meme book.
right.
I'm jealous.
I can
That's
tell him.
crazy.
I'm in the Legion, so I can tell him. Flawed wants his.
Flawed wants his
I do.
now.
I want a damn meme book. That's fire, bro. That's like flattering. Damn.
That's what that again. It's I don't go to these things expecting that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't
like,
even expect pictures. Everyone's like, "Hey, gotta take a picture." That shit, like, it still got me ringing to this day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. I mean, because you're going there to, go
I
see
was a fan.
the people that
Yeah.
you're a fan of,
Yeah.
and then it's weird that people are fans of you.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
That's how. I mean, I was when I first went when we went to Orlando. I think I had like 500 subs at the time, and there was people like, "Hey, oh my god, what's on?" I'm like,
It's quality.
"What, dude?" Like,
It's
okay.
wild. I like being able to put the names to the faces. Like I won't forget when I first met what was his name? Manowar 665 from the chats, because I've seen Manowar so many times. I was just like, "You're Manowar. Oh, this is cool." I remember when I first met Brightest Day. Like it's so wild. Like seeing like everyone like I remember when I met Not Another Dime, WG in Florida. Like it
Father
was cool.
Miller.
Like yeah, Father Christopher Miller. Like it's so cool. Like I'm just like it's such a wonderful experience. You get to have now be like a discussion where you could see their faces and interact and expressions, and you can now it's so much more personable. It really opens up your whole world. Like you think you've seen it all in life, but there's a whole other surface that you don't even know that's out there. It shows you how much is truly out there. Like we're a small world, but yet at the same time we're not. There's still so much we have yet to see, and yet even then we still haven't even seen everything. We're still far from it. Like,
no shit.
and that's what's exciting. This journey is limitless. I that part excites me. It makes me very optimistic of who I've yet to speak to, who I've yet to interact with, whether it's David Casada or an Aserius Man or a Flawed Zilla of the world. One day, like
I think this is the first time I've talked to Flawed.
Yeah.
I could be in front of one of these
guys.
That's why I stuck
around.
Like,
I was about to leave, and then you guys popped in. I was like, I gotta just chill.
I was just gonna say, if you need to go, man,
I'm sorry. I'm
do your
taking it
thing.
now.
We had just finished our
made it
show
bearable.
and saw the link and said, it's not time for bed yet. Let's go see what Shags is up to.
I'm everyone's after party. That's what I'm known for now.
Hell yeah,
after school
you
special.
staying up late.
Yeah. I wanted to do, so I had an idea to do a Friday night show that was called the After Party, and then like try and get everyone from FNT over to like my channel and just like rock out, and like if those guys wanted to come by and just like chill and not be.
Well, Shags,
that's a great idea.
I think you should do that. You know why?
Real.
My show ends. I do a show on Friday night on comics. That ends usually around 10:30. And that gives enough time for the FNT guys to like have a break from their show ending. And also Matt from Fallball is not doing the cocktail lounge for an extended period of time.
Yeah, he's
I'm just saying there's a gap to be filled.
I'm always up for filling gaps.
You should do it.
Well, you are extended dicks of the Dicks division, so it is part of the you fit the quota.
It's dude, there's the other problem with, it's not a problem, it's a good problem to have. Like I was approached a couple times about doing stuff, and like there's some things that are sort of like in the works, and like it's just sometimes it's overwhelming. It's like it's great, like it's a great problem to have. So like people want to do projects and do a show, and the first priority is the midweek hump, because it's like it's our version of Friday Night Tights. And I mean, even Culture is like walking around like he's like talking to Chris Gore and like, hey, this is the Shagsworth, like they're the next FNT. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Don't do that.
Gonna stick, bro. You're gonna stick, guaranteed.
Eventually, like I've always said I don't want to like grow too fast.
Yeah, never. Yeah,
I don't want to get too big for the britches, and I don't know.
Yep. Organic growth.
The problem
is best.
for like guys like us that have actual day jobs too, it's hard to set up and try to plan a show for each night of the week, because at some point you have no life left, because you're also going to be guesting on other stuff. So it's very hard to commit to making a new show on any given night, because that night just became gone.
Yeah.
right now you can just guess where, you get links to be on different things.
Right.
But setting up another show it's another commitment.
Right. And then even so, like when the last day of Vegas, it was Friday. I was just sitting in my hotel room and I was kind of recovering because I was so goddamn tired. But I did a video about the whole Steven Crowder thing because I'm getting tired of seeing like, oh, I'm the first to report on this shit, and it's like, okay, I get it, but like this is the issue here is that nobody knows anything beyond this like minute and a half video that his wife like looks like she's set up. you know,
for real.
Like we don't have the information. We don't have the years of interaction they've had. We don't know how much like she's pushed his buttons. We don't see, you know what I mean? Like
divorces are ugly.
Right.
Every
so like
time.
seeing that, like, and it's actually doing pretty well. The video's like one of my better performing videos. But like that just makes me think like I got to do more recorded stuff. And even people in the comments were like, dude, you need to release more stuff. Like this is good. And I was
That's
like,
how you do
okay,
it, man. That short form content hits, man.
Yeah, that's my number. It's always been my number
but-
one message with people is because when I saw that headlines were being twisted and like falsely reporting on stuff, I'm like, this is the difference we need to make. Don't make clickbaity headlines. Don't like do honest reporting.
Yep.
Because we're not going to get through this unless someone is willing to change that model. If you don't just be the first. Have some integrity.
Have the one who be the one who's reporting a story accurately and to the best of your abilities. Don't worry about being the first, because if you're worried about being first, you might as well say you're no different than the clickbaiters with chasing headlines.
Well,
you want to be the one who's reporting the story as close to it objectively as possible, because when everything's an opinion piece, everything is so skewed one way. We saw it happen with the Nick Sandman and the Rittenhouses. We saw it happen with the Johnny Depps and the Marilyn Mansons, up and down. And then or the Rick and Morty writer from a few weeks ago. That guy lost everything, and you find out he ended up being innocent.
It's not so much the rush to be first that's the problem. It's the rush to judgment that has become the issue.
Right. Yeah, the court of public opinion is great because it's willing to convict people like immediately, and that's all that you really need most times. It kind of goes back to the whole Trump thing. Like no one gave a fuck that he didn't say anything about Nazis and supporting them. They clipped him out of context and people ran with that shit. It didn't matter. So
and we also got to remember another thing too, and this is I may have a bit of an unpopular take on this one, but algorithms. I think everyone lets themselves be controlled too much by algorithms.
Absolutely.
They have the story out just because they got to keep up with my algorithm. It's just like
that's it.
That's when you're letting the technology control you, and that could be a good YouTuber or a bad YouTuber. I get the idea of wanting
stressful no matter
flow.
what.
I get the idea of wanting to constantly be on time for things. There is some good to that. But if you're putting out a story just to put out, but then you're missing gaps or you don't have like a fully thought out opinion, it shows. And you're only serving the algorithm and not the actual story. That also hurts. And for me, it's just like when I know something, I'll report when I know all the details. And yeah, you might end up getting a few less clicks of it, but at least I know the story and I'm going to talk about it accurately and not make it about what I think. I'll put in what I think at the end, but what matters is the story first. The story needs to come first, and we're not getting lost. And a lot of people are afraid of talking more objectively because they see that the clickbaity headlines are what gets the clicks, and obviously that's true. But someone's got to eventually be the first one who plays ball and takes that chance. And
integrity is what's going to actually outlast everything.
And people got to be the ones that take that first step and do that. Like. Otherwise we're gonna be in this never-ending loop of clickbait forever unless someone takes that first step.
That's why I continue to like just do the things like the midweek hump is like my focus, right? It's like that show, making it the best it can be, and then doing videos when I can, when something like okay, I want to talk about this, and I can, like, that video wasn't anything special because I edited it on my laptop in a hotel like before I checked out. Like I probably could have waited a little bit and made it a little bit better, but I was happy with it. It said what it needed to say. But if I'm trying to just gather up stories because it's going to hit the algorithm, like, oh, well, the quartering's talking about that. Oh, Crowder's talking about that. Like, I might not have really anything good to say, but if I stick with it, like you're saying, if I have some integrity and I speak from the heart, like, people will see that as more authentic. Like, okay, this is who he is. This is the kind of takes that I want to hear.
Imagine putting out things faster than everyone and having people be like, "This nigga's trash" every single time. That's like it's not worth it to be first.
No,
ever, at that point, he's got to be you.
It's it's better to have the long game. You may not get as many clicks as a quartering or Tim Pool, but you'll have the respect and the people who are there. Yeah, you get a lot of hate, but the people who are there for you are going to be there because they're loyal. They see you're authentic, and they want to support someone who's gonna be genuine about their taste, even if they don't agree with their take. But they'll be there for the authenticity. Yeah. And I think there's something to that, and that's kind of like what I modeled my channel off of. Because like for me, obviously I've made it very loud that I've been like a fan of Motorhead. Motorhead was never the biggest band on the planet, but they had the most diehard fans on the planet, and everyone on their mother at the very least knew who Lemmy was, and Lemmy had everyone's respect, and that was what kind of to me. And the dude just grinded out. They did tour albums. They stuck to the Motorhead sounds. They didn't try to pander to others. They didn't worry about what ours said. He didn't care about what politician was saying on Wednesday. He didn't say, "Oh, it's election year. I have to now act like I know everything about politics." He sung and about what he knew. He stuck to his guns no matter what was the trend. Even when his type of music was considered out of style in the 90s, he still grinded it out. He probably played to no one in the 90s, yet he still did. And I saw that. I'm like, that's what I got to do. I gotta be like Motorhead, but with YouTube.
Hell yeah.
I gotta be Motorhead.
Yeah, I'm getting too old at this point to like. I mean, I'm not old, but I still feel the age coming.
You're grown,
right? And I'm like, I just can't do stuff because I think people want that of me. Like in that video that I did, like it obviously resonated with people, and like my sort of like calm stance and like deliverance of like what I thought was like, okay, this is what I was looking for. Like people need to have this approach with things because it's just, and, I'm not bashing anyone who does that. Like if that's how if there's people in the fellowship who make their living off of videos like that. I don't care what you do. It's just not for me. Like I can't, I don't have the energy to do that. Like people can do it. Like I said, I'm very libertarian when it comes to stuff like that. Just do what you want to do. Live your life. Don't bring me into it.
Well, and it's a lot easier to stay out of the drama of YouTube if you're not doing things that way. Because the people who tend to be most involved in the drama are the ones that are involved in making content that way. And they may be fine with that. I'd prefer not to have drama with anybody. I like being friends with people. I got on here. My channel, I don't make videos. I have one live stream that I do on Saturday nights, and the rest of the time I'm on other people's stuff just because I wanted to come on here and turn on the camera and the mic so that I could have conversations with people. I don't really care about success on YouTube or Rumble.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the conversations are what I am here for.
Yeah.
Conversation. And it's good when you can go for someone when you like the individual. Yeah, I like when I know, okay, I like what this individual has to say, and and I think what's his face, Bobby Beatty beat me to it in the comments, but yeah, like I'll look at someone like Razor Fist, like whenever he puts out a video, whether it's a politics video, whether it's a gaming video, I know you're gonna get a very real take from him. Yeah. Whether it's on music or politics, whatever, you're gonna get a real take from it. And that's what I want. And obviously, YouTube's once again the algorithm doesn't lean towards that. But once again, he's been on. Not many people know he's been on here since 2009.
Oh wow, really?
He's been on here a long time, and he said he didn't have 1,000 subs for like the first 3 or 4 years. You wouldn't think that now because he's over 350K subs. But once again, he's a great example of someone who really stuck it out. Talk about. So it's 2013, 14 years. That's a grind, man. 14. Yeah, you got to really, really love it. And I love what I do on here. Like, it's great because when I remember when I first started like a stream, I had no one listening. Now I'll do like my Toxic Tuesday. I had Shags on when we did the Wayne's World episode, and we had almost 80 people at one point. It was
Hell
great. I
yeah.
remember when Toxic
That's
Tuesday
fire.
had nobody, and I remember that. And last week we had Death Wish, and I'm like, crap, now we're getting to a point where we're hitting 100. It's cool to see that steady growth, and I feel like I get to know all the individuals in the chat. Like, I remember you from day one. I remember when you showed up. I
Yep.
love remembering all the names from when they showed up. It's so rewarding. It's
Yeah.
so rewarding.
It is cool. Like I don't ever want to stop, you know. I just want to be as like authentic as I can. I don't really care if people disagree with me on something. Like, I'll defend my position and I'll take the piss out of people when we can, because it's fun, you know. And that's the best part about this space too, is that we can take the piss out of each other and not like get all butt hurt.
Yep.
And
Me and Adam always, bro.
Yep.
Always going back and forth.
Yeah.
He's called me out multiple times, and he's been right every time, which pisses me off. But I try.
But hey, you know, it seems like you seem to acknowledge when he's right. And I think there's a respect there, because I think there's nothing wrong with knowing when you're wrong in something, because you can learn from something, and you can also understand why you got to that point, why he got to that point. There's a learning experience from that. No one has to be right. Like, I know when I do some show, like, let's just put it this way, I'm a frequent on Midnight's Edge after dark on Tuesday and Thursday nights. I'm not the smartest man in the room. I know that for a fact. I'm no Tom Connors. I'm never gonna be Tom's encyclopedic knowledge of movies, but I know what I know, and I know I can contribute to the show and bring a very genuine take.
Yep.
And people, once again, you're not getting as many people who are going to latch on right away, but once again, the people who do, they're going to love you that much
They'll
more.
understand you and mess with you heavily. That's always how it is.
I think that's so much more gratifying that way, because it's so great. I love it. It's, once again, that the loyalty is so much more important than the flash in the pan numbers. I don't want to be a one-hit wonder. Fuck that shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I want people to be able to like to come back and be like, oh, I need an honest opinion on this. Like, oh, I know Shags is going to give me he's going to shoot me straight. He's not just going to say some shit that I want to hear. Yep. You know, that's what it is for me. Like, people can, and I'll change my mind. Like, people can convince me. Otherwise, I'm always waiting for someone to show up and educate me. Like, my glass is never full. And I know, like, that's why I continue hanging out with you guys, because I know you're in a lot of ways the same way. But that's just where I am. I'm too old to just do what other people want. I need to walk my own path and do the things that make me happy.
The creative outlet.
Yeah.
It's what makes you happy. Yeah.
I am going to, I want to thank you guys, because this has been a banger of a stream. It's been a lot of fun. I hear my little one getting crazy upstairs.
That's what that was? I thought that was in my house. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought it was a dog.
No, he's having like a nightmare, I think. But my wife has to wake up early, so I want to make sure I get up there and take care of the little ones. But thank you for coming through. What do you got going on? You want to tell anyone about stuff you got coming up?
Stream Tuesday through Sunday, 5 p.m. Central to like 9 p.m. Central. But I also stream before that on Rumble sometimes, gaming. And Big Staff Monday every Monday.
Hell yeah,
Monday
dude.
at 5. Yeah.
Nice.
5:30. I don't remember the time. One of those times. That's why I'm always late. I don't even know what time
it is. Nick, what do you got going on, bud?
I just put out a video called Heavy Metal is Always Diverse. Watch that. I'll have another one this week off the upcoming Conan book. And tomorrow night, Toxic Tuesday, we're talking Death Wish 2.
Oh, nice, dude. Sick.
Oh, yeah. Crazy movie.
Oh, more than I remembered. So, yeah. Thanks for having me, Shags. Good hang with you, and good hang out with Flawed, and nice to meet the faces in the chat. And always good hang out with Brahm, who I see practically almost every day. It's great.
Brahma, what do you got coming up?
On my channel, I only do stuff on Rumble, so my Rumble channel, Brahma Bowl. I've got Saturday night. I do bourbon and boarding. We talk about hockey and bourbon, and it's talking about things we like. Although the Avs went out yesterday, so it's going to be a somber show for me. But that Wednesday night after show with Shags most weeks, and then Comics Division Monday and Thursday. Come check us out. So great to see you guys. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
And tomorrow you can catch me. I'm doing a show 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time with Carrie Smith on my new podcast, Ready Set Shag. That's again, it's a little earlier this week, but 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time. We're gonna be talking with her just about her journey. That's what the podcast is all about, is learning about these creators that I admire and have followed for many years. And just getting their story. And so we simulcast on YouTube and on my locals. And then we do about a 20-minute post show for members only on locals. It's there as a VOD and there for the whole time if you want to watch as well. And then the midweek hump
was
is
great.
What's that?
The one with Mad was great.
Yeah, Mad's episode was awesome. And then Wednesday in the midweek hump, we have Zach Shutt from Meta PCs.
Yeah, Meta
There's going to be on. Yep.
Use Codezilla. Just joking. If you have a code, use Shags code.
I don't.
Okay. Well, use Codezilla.
But yeah, man, that's going to do it for us. I'm going to make sure to get up and start dad mode. But thank you guys so much for chilling. We'll see you guys next time. I'm going to roll some credits. We out of here.
Peace.
Later.
All right.